Hey guys, this is gonna be a kind of shorter video, but I just realized the other day that you can pretty much win any argument through being less emotional than the other person. Essentially stoicism. You know, whenever you're in a dispute, disagreement, argument with somebody and you let emotions control you, there's a high likelihood you're gonna make yourself out to be stupid or just kind of look foolish. Kind of like embarrass yourself. And a lot of times you don't even necessarily need to argue well. If your opponent in an argument is having a literal breakdown in front of you and you're, unfazed and you're just, being stoic, well, anybody watching is going to probably take your side just because you seem more reasonable. You know what I mean? Here's some emotions that you need to avoid. One is anger. This is the biggest emotion that you need to avoid at all costs. You can't let anger control you as a man because men are generally more prone to anger. Like when you're hurt, you're going to be angry. When somebody is making a stupid point that's completely illogical, you're going to be angry. But even if you weren't angry, even if somebody said something extremely stupid that made no sense and had no evidence and was completely illogical and was just dumb, if you punch down and then you berate them for being dumb, then that also makes you seem stupid. That also makes you seem less credible. So, like, being rude is going to just make you seem less credible. If you're rude in any way, like, the way you should approach an argument is just to be kind of feel bad for them. Like, have empathy. That if you really believe that they don't understand what you do, try to, approach it more from an angle of like, you're trying to help them. Yeah, I just thought that was an interesting insight, trying to think of what other emotions that you might have to deal with. Interestingly enough, what I've kind of realized is that this also applies to dealing with women too. If you kind of speak in the emotional language that women do, then they're going to see you as feminine and not always, but a lot of the time they're kind of just going to view you as like feminine. Unless maybe it's like a long-term partner, maybe it's different, but if you're just dealing with a girl and you get emotional off the bat, like she didn't reply to your text quick enough or something, you start getting emotional. Here's one thing that I heard from somebody else. I forgot his name. This guy said, never ask a question over text message to a girl. And it's really funny because it's like actually true. Like, whenever I ask a girl that I met recently a question over text message, like something like, where are you or something, like, I don't know, like, what are you up to or something. Usually they just like ghost you. And the reason I think is because when you ask a question, it kind of sounds like emotional. Like, I know this is stupid, but I think it's true. Like, because I think the way that girls like will read your messages is like in the worst possible interpretation. So they'll read, you could just be asking it like a normal question, but they will read your question as like a whiny baby in their mind, right? But the other aspect of what I'm talking about is, you know, women are used to emotionally manipulating because that's what they're good at. That's their strong point. So when you kind of react emotionally to their baloney, then they kind of just think, all right, well, this guy is like, he's just like I think they think like, I got him, like, look, I can manipulate this guy. I can make him, feel one way or another. And then they think, well, that's boring. I'm trying to find a guy that I can't, get past. So I think the better idea is to just never react emotionally when dealing with a woman that you recently met. I mean, just like kind of in general too, man. I mean, women need like women are generally more chaotic, so you need to be the anchor point, basically. Like, you need to, you know, not have these emotions that, sway you around all the time. You need to so what this guy that I saw said, he said the women that, like, the guys that women chase after are the guys that don't care. Just the guys that don't care one way or another. They don't ask them questions all the time. They clearly just don't, because when you care that much, you're being invested early on. I don't know, man. I'm not an expert at women. I'm going to stop talking about this because I don't know. All I know is that if you are in an argument or an altercation and you remain calm, you have a way higher chance of being perceived as winning the argument. And I just find it funny that you could literally basically say nothing. You could literally be terrible at arguing on a standpoint of logic. You could be terrible at this or that. But if you hold either kindness or kind of like an unbothered attitude, then you're going to be, and the other person doesn't, or it's rude to you, and you still don't do anything, you just remain calm, and you don't act rude to them back. That's a big thing, because like when people are rude to you, you want to be rude to them back, right? What I say is, instead of being rude to them back, just just be funny, dude. Just be funny. If you're dealing with some Karen that is being super rude to you or something like that, and she's recording you, just have a lighthearted sense of humor and don't take it seriously. And just by doing that, she's gonna feel like ridiculous because it's going to expose how seriously she herself is taking a trivial situation that doesn't matter. So that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.